Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where our objective for today is to attack yet another convoy, but this time around we're doing it with either a destroyer flotilla or a single large destroyer, as opposed to, previously, a battle cruiser. But then again, they had more escorts. They had 2 battleships, a couple of cruisers, and a whole bunch of transports. Now, it is 5 transports and 1 heavy cruiser. You can choose your bonus. You can choose shells and torpedoes or balanced tech bonus. I'm going to go for balanced tech bonuses because I want to build a fast ship. Like a really fast ship. See if I can race up to these guys, shoot a couple of torpedoes into the cruiser and take the guns and, well, try to roll over the rest of them. Main tower. Then a couple of funnels. Usually go with the enhanced just behind them. And as you can see, there's actually a spot over there for a gun. You cannot quite fit a funnel, but you can fit a 5-inch gun in there. Which is then a 360-degree turret. So you can shoot out to any side. We can build 4 destroyers. But fast is good. 45 knots might be a little bit too much. Maybe 42 knots. I can build 2 destroyers. The ship is currently overweight. We need to fix that. The easiest way to do that is to go with a different type of engine. So from the Steam Basic, I'm going to go for geared turbines. And this should save me quite a bit on the engine weight. 1935. And if I go for Croup Armor 4, I'm be paying quite a bit more for it. But I will be saving a lot on the armor weight and gaining more armor strength. I can unfortunately only build 1 DD because it's now too expensive. Let's add the guns and torpedo and see if I can save a little bit on them. Nah, I don't think it's going to work. If I lower the displacement, I cannot get it under 50%. Well, just. But then I can only add 1 gun, and that would be it. Maybe if I change from coal to oil and then to forced boilers, I can get a bit more out of it. No, it's going to make it too expensive. Alright, then we're going to go with a big destroyer. 2,000 tons. Let's remove that. I do quite like how you got these lifeboats. And then when you start adding more weapons, it just goes, yeah, we don't need those anyway. We probably won't live long enough to make it through to that. Now we also have the auxiliary engine. This improves or reduces the max engine speed. If you take engine damage, it improves acceleration, it improves turn rate. And it improves water pumping. Which is actually quite good. So if I do take flooding hits, I can actually try and pump it out. Let's go for that. And I want advanced propeller shaft tier 3. To get more acceleration, more turn rate, faster repairs to my engine, and less engine speed penalty, or max speed penalty. What else would I need? Why a gun, maybe? 5-inch. 1 there, 1 there. Can I add another torpedo tube? If I space these a little closer. Come on. Move back. Yeah, kind of. Another set? Yeah, that more or less works. So now I have a set of 12 torpedoes. Could I get away with putting one on the bow, I wonder? Do you really want to be launching torpedoes from this height? Because it seems like it is actually possible. The bigger question is it desirable? The answer might be possibly not. You could, however, and this is something that you do see in World of Warships very, very rarely, you could put sort of bow-launched torpedoes. So I could be charging a target and firing 1 torpedo out the front, almost at a direct front angle. So I could charge down a ship and launch a torpedo right at it. Now I'm fighting a heavy cruiser, and the game said the only way to take it down is to go with heavy torpedoes, or torpedoes in general. Let's go for 18 inches. And I'm going to add a bit more guns. That is, if I can fit those on here anywhere. That might prove to be quite a challenge. Yeah, I got an aft weight offset slightly. What happens if I go for smaller tubes? I think this could work, but the problem is if I place a gun in the middle... Yeah, there is no room to place a gun in the middle. Not only that, but also if you fire the torpedoes from the starboard side, then the game doesn't consider the torpedoes on the port side to be loaded. So, sure enough, it might work. But I would rather go for a larger torpedo spread. Let's go with a couple of triple launchers. And these are mostly anti-cruiser weapons. The guns are going to be doing most of the work when it comes to taking out the transports. Ooh, aft weight offset of 5.9. That is not great, because it means that I might be listing a little to the back. Could I go with the double torpedo tube on the front? Okay. So we got 18-inch torpedo tubes, pretty much front launched. Yeah, you cannot put it over here with the anchor chains. Oh, that would be hilarious. Okay. Go for fast torpedoes. Fast is good. They're also slightly easier to spot by 30%. But hey, if the enemy doesn't have any time to react, then they might have a pretty hard time to actually evade them. Now, if I'm targeting transports, I would like a little bit more punch to try and inflict as much flooding damage as possible. So anything that says penetration damage going up is good. So Lyddite 1 and Lyddite 2 are not good. Penetration for white powder slightly better. What else? TNT? 5% shell penetration. High TNT, 1.5, but 12% more shell damage. Shell cost just goes up by 1,000%. Sure. Let's put autoloaders on them. Semi-auto. 25% gun reload time reduce. Hydraulic turrets. I want electro-hydro to make sure I can turn my turrets as fast as possible. And I believe that also goes for the torpedoes. Standard shells. You can go for super heavy shells. What the hell does a super heavy shell look like on a destroyer? It does add shell penetration. Rate of fire, 6.99 rounds a minute. If I switch that back to light, 8 rounds a minute rate of fire. Penetration at, let's say, 2,500 meters, which is what I think I might be at when I go after transports, is 3.7. And if I go for super heavy, it's going to be a whole 4.3. Wow. Yeah, that's not really too interesting. Let's go for standard, 7.5 rounds a minute rate of fire. I think this could be good enough. Standard torpedo armament reload. I don't think I'm going to need more of those. I could go for a rangefinder though to make my guns more accurate. I won't need long-range gunfire or long-range gunfire, so I think the coincidence for just more aiming speed would be more interesting, because that allows me to get a little bit more firepower on target faster. I can go for a rear tower. That is, if I still have the weight allowance for that. And I can put my gun on there. Like that. The function of the rear tower is to aim, or to aim with greater accuracy. So more aiming speed and more base accuracy. And a bit more damage control as well, but I'm also raising my target signature. This is going to be an interesting encounter. Let me put it that way. Armor, I might be able to add some, but it begs the question, does it even matter? I think I would rather go for more speed and just charge ships down than to go for more armor. Bulkheads. Well, this is going to make the ship bulkier. Yeah, no. Would I recommend this design? Probably not. Could it work? Maybe. We're the British Empire. We're going to take 1 destroyer to take 5 transports and a heavy cruiser down. Hold off on the torpedo launch. Now, I haven't actually used the front... Oh, ceasefire. I don't want to give my position away. Fortunately, the front launchers, the 2x deck torpedo tubes, do count as separate launchers. So the game doesn't say, hey, you fired the front torps, then you cannot launch the stern torps anymore. Let's charge in. Speed, 43 knots. I need to see what sort of weird turn that warship is making. Let's charge in. Take it down to 2x speed. Torpedoes, normal. There we go. What? Where are my torpedoes? Where are my torpedoes? Are you telling me my ship is as fast as my torpedoes? I have no idea where those torps went. I think the front torps didn't actually even deploy. Okay, the stern torps now did. And are targeting that cruiser. But I think the front torpedo tubes just went, nah. Not feeling it today. Not quite feeling it today. Turn the torpedo tubes off. Make starboard turn. Maybe not that much. And deploy smoke. Just gonna try and stay concealed while those torpedoes are traveling towards the torpedo turret. Which already is turning. This is the Fürst Bismarck. Uh-oh. I don't like all that fire coming in this way. Ouch! Jesus. There goes flooding. There goes the structure. I just lost my engine. Ship is on fire. Ship is flooding. That was one really good hit from that cruiser. Fire when ready with the torpedoes. Do we have any chance of penetrating this? Whoa, oh wow, we do. We have a 32% chance of penetrating a cruiser? 33, that's actually pretty good for 5-inch guns. I just think that the Walpole is not really going to be long for this world. Let's see. Again, we launched the torpedoes, and now I actually have 1 whole torpedo in the water. Jesus, that's a little sad. For 4 torpedo tubes on the front, I get 1 launch out of it, and there we go. Heavy flooding. I barely scratched these guys. Oh, this was not very good. Okay, retry. Yes, please. I love destroyers. Let's swap these around. Main tower on the front. And then maybe I can fit another torpedo launcher in here. Yes, like that. So we're gonna go with a broadside torpedo launch. Could I go with a 4 tube? Or is that too heavy? No, that still works within the price. Could I do it here? No. That is too expensive. Alright, I'll take electric torps instead. Surface visibility is about 3k. So 3,000 meters. Ah, really? Okay. Starboard weight offset, 85%. Some guns have poor fire. Poor sector of fire. Like which one? I think they mean this one, because it's so close to the front tower. Not sure. Can we speed up a little? Yeah, we can go to 42.5. Launch. In case you were hoping that I was going to build a very serious warship, sorry. No. I really like to have fun with these games and try to just come up with a weird-ass design. Because sometimes it's going to work, and other times you're going to go, that wasn't quite what I was hoping for. What are you hoping to hit? Like, where on earth are those torpedoes going? Because they're, well, let's say it would be really ambitious to hit that warship at that range. Especially considering that I've been spotted and that that warship is now really eager to try and come after me. At the very least, I'm doing some damage to this transport here in the back. Quite a good bit of damage, actually. What's my accuracy like? 8.7% at 4.5 clicks. Well, that's not too bad. How about the cruiser? The cruiser's heading away? Are you sure? Look at the turn radius on this thing. Holy shit. Do you do drag racing as well? Or sorry, drifting, not drag racing. Look at that. Throwing it into the turn at 42 knots. This is why I love destroyers. It's like having a race car ship variant. Now, with those hydraulic electro turrets, I should have the turrets on target again. Yep, there we go. You may fire when ready. No? Don't feel like firing anymore? Like not at all, or what? Oh, the cruiser's coming back. Target the cruiser. This thing has a top speed of 27.5 knots. 11-inch guns with a couple of 4 and 3 inchers for support. And it's about to show me what those 11 inchers can do. It only has one 11-inch gun per turret. So it just has 2 of those and a bunch of 4s and 3s at a range of 8.2. But reasonably, my chances of both hitting and penetrating at this range are terrible. The best I can hope for is putting a fire. Now I'm going to once again send out a torp, or a torpedo salvo of both the launchers. So my X4 and my X3 torpedo launchers. Normal. Come on. Oh, he's turning. Hold your fire. What are you doing, Cormoran? He's making a hefty turn to starboard. He's trying to swing his gun back, but it seems to be taking a lot of time. We cannot see what the gun rotation speed is here. But I can see that it takes him 20 seconds to reload. Can we hit him now? No, I think it might consider the transport to be in the direct way. Oh wow, we hit him. Look at that ship list as it's on the turn. Oh, the game really looks good. When I first saw this game, I was a little skeptical, going, is this really what I want? But now I'm absolutely enjoying it. Anyway, the heavy cruiser is not really my target, so let's go for the transports instead. And hope that the torpedoes do something against that cruiser. Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's number 5? There's supposed to be 5 transports here. The egg gear over here is a little damaged. This one's on fire. They really picked quite a bad design to be escorting against destroyers. Because 2 11-inch guns? Well, I think they're not really going to be that accurate. I mean, at 1,000 meters, they're extremely accurate. But anything over that really drops rapidly. And I'm currently sticking at about 4 kilometers out. So his accuracy is a whole 1.4%. Which I think I can survive. Fortunately, the torpedoes are not looking good. Let's make starboard turn. Sorry, port turn. And it missed. Might have slowed down in time. I'm going to try and keep my range to make sure that this guy has almost no chance to hit me. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to keep peppering... Oh! I did hit something. Shit, I lost line of sight. Visibility is pretty bad. Cloudy weather. Moderate sea waves is affecting my accuracy. There we go. So what did we hit? Because I hit something pretty bad. Oh, here, the Augsburg. That was the one that got hit by the torpedoes. It's fighting a lot of flooding, but it seems to be winning that fight. At the very least, it's not going anywhere, so for the moment, it's not really a priority. For some reason, the cruiser has had enough. The cruiser's not really interested in sticking around, I guess. Which is perfect for me, because I can just go to town on his transports. 27% chance to hit. 30% accuracy. I'm all for it. I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful with my torpedoes. Because after this salvo I have 2 more left. But I would really like to not have to use those. Oh, here comes the cruiser again. Well, Pole, port turn, port turn. Turrets are already almost completely halfway in their turn. You can see that the ship turns way faster than its guns. Which makes sense. And these things are firing back with 2% chance to hit with a 4-inch gun. And so far it seems like the Walpole hasn't taken any damage. But by pointing that out, you might jinx it, so I gotta be a little careful. Now, since that cruiser is not really a priority, and I still have time, I'm going to keep my torpedoes loaded. It is very tempting to send a salvo after the Geyer over here, and hope that a stray torpedo hits the Augsburg and finishes it off. But I don't really want to take my chances there. I'm still 4.7 clicks away from the cruiser, which still fires at me with an accuracy of 1%. I have 1,031 rounds. So ammo should really not be a concern. Alright, speed it up. I will have to catch these ships here, though. They seem to be running away. Although, a transport at 15 knots running away from a destroyer, traveling at 42 knots. I don't even think you can call that a chase. Lots of damage here, but it's not going fast enough. Flooding. Damage to the cargo area. There. Ammo detonation. Now we're talking. Cruiser accuracy went up to 1.5. Range 4.2 clicks. How's the engines of these ships? This one's taken on flooding. This one's dead in the water. That one's dead in the water. Alright, switch targets. We need to pick off these guys. The grosse Kur first? Really? In World of Warships, that's one of the biggest ships in the whole game. And over here it's a transport. Alright. I don't quite like how close this cruiser is getting, and I don't like how violently it is maneuvering. Because it means that my chances of hitting it with torpedoes are very small. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but for those of you asking, hey, why don't you stagger launch your torpedoes? So why don't you send one salvo and then wait a little and send another? Because I can't. I cannot collect one torpedo set or another and tell it to launch. Maybe they're still going to add that into the game. I rather hope so. But I just don't know. And it is something that would, I think, make the game more enjoyable. Because I don't want to be firing all my torpedoes at the same time. But sometimes it can really, really make a difference. And are these designs historical? Maybe. Are they viable? Probably not. But I tend to have fun with this game. Just go ham, have fun. Normal launch. Quite close to the cruiser. Torpedo tubes are swinging around. Other side. Go for safe, actually. Only fire if you have a reasonably good chance to hit. The cruiser is getting quite close now. I'm also being locked in by his secondary 4-inch. He's not launching. Okay, normal launch. And resume firing on one of the other ships. Go for that transport. Just gonna make a very slight turn that way. Are you once again turning? Damn, this thing is zipping around. Those constant turns are really throwing off my torpedo aim. Yeah, he's just completely going to miss those. Oh, we've finally taken some damage. Seems to be a little bit of superstructure damage. Torpedoes off. I feel a little bit like one of those shepherd dogs where I'm trying to keep these transports together. But at the same time I'm the fox who's trying to kill off these things. Chance to hit 100%. Perfect. Let's slow down a little. Get a bit more fire in on them. Circle them. Oh shit, what was that? Ammo detonation. And I'm done. Ow. Holy shit. I think it's not the cruiser that killed me. I think it was one of the transports. And those transports with a 4-inch apparently got lucky. Because they really don't have that much accuracy. So they got lucky, they hit me, and they killed me. GG to them. Alright, so, I'm gonna leave this over to you guys. How do you think I should design this ship? Doesn't have to be anything historic, just make it fun. What do you think could work on this ship? Keeping in mind that I have a couple of limitations. I have a cost limitation of 13,000 and a weight limitation of 2k. Or sorry, 2,000. So, what do you think I should do? Let me know down below in the comments. And we're going to try this mission again in a future episode. See you then.